for prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Real?
Crawford or Mayweather.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually taking moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
His basics are solid. His fundamentals are solid. He's strong. He's physical. He's moved up and become, solid at a heavier weight than when he started in his career. He's grown into. He's got great experience.
Floyd Mayweather is thought to be one of the best defensive boxers of all time by some. On the other hand, some boxing fans think that he doesn't want to fight Terence Crawford. A lot of people were worried that Mayweather, who is retired and no longer at his best, would hurt his reputation and health by facing Crawford, who is known for having strong attacks, perfect timing, and the ability to adapt to any opponent. A lot of people say that Mayweather should never take Crawford's test because it is too dangerous.
He's way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, now that was a big take. Of course, he's fought both of them.
Yeah, he would know.
So that was a big take. But
not really.
I think
lost
so.
to both of them. Not for people who watch boxing. No, that's not. No.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we sent that Terence Crawford some love, because he also talked a lot that night about how people underestimated him and thought, because people didn't really. He doesn't have the biggest star power, that he wasn't going to win the fight, and he definitely took that home. So congratulations to him. Now
What?
He doesn't have the biggest star power.
Oh, no.
Yeah, people were he was saying that people were underestimating him because of.
Before Floyd Mayweather Jr. quit fighting for good, he had a perfect 52-0 record. Many people think that Terence Crawford is one of the best defensive boxers of all time, and he has never lost a fight. A world winner in several weight classes, who is known for his power, versatility, and ability to switch stances. People will continue to compare, guess, and talk about who would beat whom in their prime, as long as Crawford is the best in his categories.
Crawford on Saturday has not only become the pound-for-pound #1 fighter, I honestly believe that he surpasses now Floyd Mayweather as the best fighter of this generation. That's what I believe.
If that was the goal by Floyd, to be undisputed, then he would have chased undisputed. He chased champions until he became the money draw.
Do you know that Floyd never unified any of the divisions he fought in?
Because he never had to with a draw. He just didn't have to. He done the hard work in getting there.
Terence Crawford started out his boxing career as a lightweight, and now he's gone up to super middleweight and become the undisputed super middleweight champion, beating a guy like Canelo, who, listen, previously, man, he was wreaking havoc through that division. And Terence Crawford's just gone out there and taken the belt off him with, let's be honest, relative ease.
Shane Sugar Mosley, a legendary 3-division winner, caused a stir when he said that Crawford might be better than Floyd Mayweather, at least in some versions of Mayweather. Mosley talked about how strong, fast, and able to switch guards Crawford was. He says that these traits give him clear attacking positions and deadly alternatives. He told them that Crawford might beat Floyd Mayweather. Still, Mosley thinks that Mayweather, who is younger, more busy, and more attractive, will be a different story and make things hard for Crawford.
Go ahead.
Did you believe or do you agree with the fact that Canelo is saying Crawford is better than Mayweather from an outsider's perspective, having not fought Crawford? Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually taking moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
A past world champion named Timothy Bradley has said in public that Crawford can beat Floyd Mayweather when he is at his best. His opinion is that Crawford is smart, flexible, and has perfect timing. Bradley knows how good Mayweather is at defense and how mobile he is. but he thinks Crawford has enough offensive and tactical tools to win.
Terence Crawford is also a master at distance. Terence Crawford has punching power to hurt Floyd Mayweather. We saw that in the Sam Judah fight now.
Yeah, Shane too. Shane hurt him with the right hand.
Shane did hurt him as well.
Yep.
And did he fight Shane? But did Floyd fight Shane in his prime? Do you think he fought him in his prime?
No.
Exactly.
And Zab wasn't quite a Shane-level fighter. That's true. Listen, it'd be a great match.
Khan has told Crawford that he admires him and thinks that Crawford has a good chance to beat Mayweather Jr. Khan says that Crawford has great ring timing because he can break flow, make exact changes, and carry out smart plans. Khan talked about his own fight with Crawford and said that Crawford could annoy opponents by making them miss by a few hundredths of a second before hitting them with well-timed punches. He also thinks Crawford is better than a lot of the big stars in welterweight boxing. Even Mayweather, who is known for being a great defender, might not be able to match Crawford's attack, ring smarts, and ability to respond.
I was in the ring with him, even though towards after the 1-2 rounds, I started getting my rhythm. But I have to say, probably one of the best fighters I've ever faced, honestly. And I've faced the likes of Canelo, and I was at boxing fighters like him. Every fight I've lost previously was when I was up on points, and obviously I got caught with a good shot and got knocked out, whatever. But with Crawford, his timing was so on point. I mean, like, what a great fight he was, technician. And I'll always look, I'm not a hater in any way. Look, even though the fight went the way it did, but I just think his timing was amazing, and just everything about the game plan he had for the fight. I mean, he's a brilliant fighter. You cannot take that away from him. And if he was to fight any welterweight, being Manny Pacquiao, being Errol Spence, being even Floyd Mayweather, I think Crawford would beat a lot of them, maybe all of them. Even and the only fight I would say for him would be a good fight technically would be someone like Mayweather. But I really think
Carl Frampton, a former two-division world champion, thinks Terence Crawford did more than just beat Canelo. Since then, he has changed his mind about how close Crawford is to Floyd Mayweather. Frampton thinks that Crawford's performance against Canelo, especially how he controlled the fight, dropped Canelo, and set the pace, showed that Crawford has hit a level where he can fight Mayweather when he is at his best. Frampton talks about how technical skills, ring leadership, and finishing power are different. A lot of people say that Crawford's work is the most important part of prime Mayweather.
Crawford is going to nick it. I think if he does nick it, it does kind of have to be a stinker. He has to move and use his feet. I think Canelo's feet aren't what they once were, but certainly he's a stronger man in the fight. I think we're going to see a very close one, possibly even a draw, but you put a gun to my head, I would say Crawford in a close points decision.
You talk a bit about the fight maybe not catching fire in the way some were expecting. If Terence Crawford is to win the fight, does it have to be that sort of fight? And leading from that, can he hurt Canelo Alvarez?
I don't think so. I mean, look at the shots guys like Golovkin bounced off Canelo's head. It's almost like he's unhurtable. We seen him hurt by Miguel Cotto's brother a number of years ago, but that was it really, and he was a young boy. So I think that I don't expect to see Terence hurting or being able to hurt Canelo, but there's a way he can win the fight, and that is by outboxing.
If Terence Crawford does win, as you're predicting, does he rival Alexander Usyk for that number 1 pound for pound spot?
I mean, you have to start. I've never really thought about it, but that's a good question, and he'd certainly been.
Stevenson has said very clearly that Terence Crawford only needs one more fight to be known as one of the best fighters of all time. This is especially true now that Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez. Stevenson talks about Crawford's skills, how he moves, and his fighting IQ. Crawford thinks that Canelo's offense will not work, which will help him win the fight. Besides that, he says that being Canelo's fighting idol would be more than just another title for Crawford. It would be a turning point in the history of war. Stevenson thought that Crawford's victory over Canelo would make him one of the all-time greats, and it would be hard for critics to disagree.
Beats Canelo convincingly, right? Would you put him above Floyd, an all-time great?
See, I ain't
Give me a solid answer. Come on, Shakur. Don't dance around that, bro.
I can't get into that because at the end of the day, it's like...
But that's just an opinion.
It's opinionated.
Right,
Regardless,
I want your
it's opinionated. My opinion on it, I think Bud is the greatest of all time after doing this.
Okay.
But
thank you. That's all I wanted.
Floyd is the greatest of all time in my eyes too. Like the shit I don't watch with him is like he's one of my favorite fighters. So,
I know.
Crawford has pushed back against many comparisons to Floyd Mayweather by saying that their styles and jobs are different. He says it over and over that Mayweather fought in a different time, against different opponents, and with different demands from the public. Crawford's road is now very different from what it was before. Crawford also thinks that he is only thinking about what he can control. Comparisons make for interesting conversation in the media, but what's more important is that he gets better, picks the right fights, and stays consistent. He thinks it's more important to show what he can do in the ring against real top-level opponents than to make up fights or compare scores. He doesn't talk about how much better his work is than Mayweather's. He sees them as unique people instead.
Start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now,
Floyd Mayweather's recent string of exhibition fights has upset a lot of boxing experts, who say they hurt both his image and the sport's credibility. One thing that worries people is that Mayweather often fights non-elite fighters, influencers, or YouTubers in these trials instead of real challengers, which lowers his value as a fighter. Some people think that these fights are more like business deals than real sports competitions. A lot of people, including Oscar de la Hoya, have said that some fights are embarrassing and make fun of boxing. Some experts have questioned whether or not meeting YouTubers is fun, saying that the show doesn't do anything to show skill.
But other than Leonard Ellerby is a boxing man. He knows deep down that was absolutely horrendous. And the other thing is as well, when you got a guy in the environment that we're living at the moment, right, after a tough year for a lot of people, to come out of the press conference and just basically laugh at people and say, I just took your money. It was a bank job. It was a heist. It was like I conned you into, I mean, those pay-per-views in America, I think they were like $60. I mean, he basically just took the piss out of the fans. But I don't blame him. He made an absolute fortune. Good luck to him. I'm not having a go at Floyd Mayweather. I'm just a fan who's allowed to give my opinion. Absolutely dreadful. Even Floyd Mayweather was embarrassed at the press conference after. He basically said, I'm not doing that again. The biggest winner was Logan Paul. I mean, he's just gone 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. And actually, at times...
Did you think he got knocked out and held up?
No, I think at times Floyd Mayweather was actually really trying. But anyway, it was what it was. But it all comes back to the pressure is on us. Not us as in me and Matchroom, but it is on boxing. If we don't make good fights, you're going to see more and more of this. Because if Gervonta Davis against Mara Barros is doing 100,000 buys, and Andy Ruiz against Areola is doing 80,000 buys or 100,000 buys, and you got that doing 1 million, what are the broadcasters going to want? That. We have to save boxing. We, not just me, all of us. And the fighters have got to step up, the managers have got to step up, the trainers have got to step up. We've got to pay the money for these guys to have real fights. And that's what you'll see.
Eddie Hearn also said that one of Mayweather's exhibition fights was terrible and that these kinds of fights are bad for the sport's image. Stephen May Smith said that Mayweather selected opponents who were not as good as him. Smith said that Mayweather only cared about making money and not about keeping his boxing image. In a direct question, Smith asked Mayweather if he cared more about his money or his image.
It comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see just anybody on the basketball court playing against LeBron James. He won't do it. He doesn't have to. It's a waste of his time. You might see footages of Dwayne Wade training his son. You don't see Dwayne Wade playing against just anybody. He's not doing it.
They will fight for fun in the spring of 2026. Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson. A lot of people are talking about this news, and many boxers are questioning whether these kinds of fights are real and useful. Mayweather has always defended his practice fights, saying that they are a safe way for him to stay in shape and make money on the side. He thinks that retiring shouldn't mean giving up everything, but rather having the freedom to choose what to do and when to do it. Some people have seen Mayweather fight before, but these shows are not reenactments of those fights. Anyone can watch them. Besides that, he says that making a lot of money from shows is like other famous people who stay rich and powerful well into old age.
You buy, pick up a couple dollars. You know, they upset. See, they upset because I'm able to milk the game. I'm smart, kept all my faculties, made a lot of smart investments. So, you know, when great people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, the Waltons, the people that own Walmart, Walgreens, when they're getting money in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it's okay. A young kid like myself from the inner city, from the ghetto, I worked my way to the top. I was able to leave boxing on my own terms and keep all my faculties, kept a lot of my money. So they're upset that I'm able to go out there and continue to make 40 and 50 and 60 million outside the ring. You can't get mad. Yo, listen, this is what God wanted.
The things that boxing experts say about why Floyd Mayweather shouldn't fight Terence Crawford are more than just words. Recent performances by Tu and Crawford have changed the talk about who is the best right now. Bob Barum and other managers now think Crawford can beat Mayweather when he's at his best. Many experts think that Mayweather's meeting with Crawford will have more bad effects than good ones in the end, unless he gets back to his best when he had lightning-fast reactions and a burning desire to win. It might be better to let Crawford tell the story instead of getting into a fight over someone's image.
What's up, fight fans? Prime for prime. Who wins a fight, Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Bud Crawford? Bob Arum says Bud. Do you agree?
For prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why? Just
because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, you know, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique.
What do you think about it? Does Crawford have what it takes to beat Mayweather if they ever fight? Would it still be hard to beat Mayweather? Type your answer in the box below.